So we see it all the time. Pros go into a bunker and they hit it out to a couple of feet, hold the putt, move on to the next as if it was the easiest shot in the world. In my experience, there's a couple of key fundamentals and a couple of changes that pros make that club golfers don't necessarily make in order to make these bunker shots much easier to play. And in this video, we're going to discuss a couple of them to hopefully give you some confidence when you're next in the sand. First thing, setup. We're always trying to hit the sand before the golf ball. Not trying to hit the golf ball first, even though that can be tempting. The changes we're going to implement here are going to make sure that when we are in the sand and we hit the sand first, there's a very good chance that that golf ball is going to go the desired distance. We're looking to put that ball just forwards of centre in the stance, and we're going to widen that up ever so slightly, and then we're going to take our feet and dig them into the sand a little bit. Widening the stance, we lower ourselves down. We dig ourselves in. Number one, we get a solid base, but number two, we're also lowering our swing arc. So we're lowering the low point of that golf club, and so it's now below the golf ball. And we're going to put that ball slightly further forwards into our stance so that when we're swinging down and through the sand, we've actually shallowed our angle into the golf ball, meaning the ball is more likely to take off and go up in the air. We're looking for that club to enter the sand before the golf ball, go underneath and return out. So we've got our setup, we've got our idea of how we're going to try and take the sand and take a cushion of sand underneath the golf ball. Now it comes to the club we're going to be using. So typically you'll see anyone use something from a 54 to a 60 degree and beyond wedge, but one thing they will generally have in common is there will be bounce on the bottom of that club. We've got a lower trailing edge than the leading edge, and what that does is if we implement it correctly, it means enter the sand before the golf ball. The bounce will then do exactly what it says on the tin, and it will bounce that club back up and out and exit the sand. We can leave the hands directly above the golf ball. Now what this does is it means that rather than having the hands forwards, where the leading edge is now pressed down to be closer to the ground than the trail edge, we've now got the bounce on that sand wedge in its natural position closer to the ground than the leading edge. Now this is going to mean instead of here and digging down into the sand, we're going to be more likely to be hitting that trail edge of the sole of the club and have it glide through the sand. So we've got our setup, we've got an idea of how we'd like the golf club to enter the sand and exit the sand underneath the golf ball, and we've got an idea that we're trying to utilise the bounce on the trail edge of the bottom of the club. Get ourselves set, get an idea for how far we want this to go. So we've entered the sand just before the golf ball, taken a small cushion of sand underneath the golf ball, exited the sand, the ball's popped up and gone over to the target. So have a little play around, give these simple setup changes a go and see how they improve your bunker game.